Yeah, what's up?
Hey, right in the middle. Good job with your eyes. But just know that your D-line is not.
Yeah, I'll talk to you real quick, okay? I'll talk to you soon.
So just, you and I both know Hudson is
Coach Schultz.
breaking off the face on it. Here's Payne and Pingle on the inside. Handoff goes off to the far side now.
Jameson on carry, and that's enough. Hudson Raider first down.
Past the 40-yard line. Touched out of bounds at the Hudson
end zone film should be
47-yard line. Gain of 15 on the play. First and 10 for Hudson. Both teams with a turnover in this game so far. Each team has capitalized on said turnover. Crossing into Will Quissick, coming to the near side, down the long side of the field. He's in the Hudson territory. Near the sideline, he picked up and
Okay, well, when do we want to start that?
Yard shy of the first down, a gain of 9. Hudson moving right to left across your listening device. 4:40 and counting to go in the first quarter.
They're not
Steal home. Shotgun snap. And off again to Will Quissick, coming high to the left side. Near side has the first down past the 40 and it's brought down
Cruising
by
down the carry again, and that's enough for Hudson Raider first down.
Senior from Memorial amongst the tackle. First and 10 for
We're still
Hudson.
working on end zone film. I'm trying
38-yard
to
line.
see here. Sorry, Coach. I'm looking at.
Homie fakes the pass, throws over the middle. Leaping catches, big jump over to the line out to inside the 25 by Tyler
Lazard with the catch.
We should have
And
an
that's enough for Hudson Raider first down.
Tyler Lazard, the reigning DRC Offensive Player of the Year.
end over trips. They're unbalanced. Unbalanced.
Good evening. Welcome to Raider Stadium in Hudson. Bob Bradovich, Dave Sparger with you on Zaleski Sports. We apologize for some technical difficulties, but we're glad to be here tonight. Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's Hudson Raiders. It's a non-conference game, Sparg, something we're still getting used to as Eau Claire Memorial moving into the Valley Athletic Conference for football only. Second pass attempt by quarterback Aaron Gunlock got picked off by Tyler Lazard. He brought it back to the 1-yard line of the Abes. Hudson punched it on the very next play. Steele Homey, their quarterback, a 1-yard run. PAT was good. It was 7-0. Hudson Memorial able to a nice drive, capped off by a 2-yard TD run by Shamar Simmons. That made it 7-6. PAT pass was. Then after an interception by Ryan Schultz, Memorial took over on the Hudson 41. A few plays later, Gunlock tossed a 40-yard TD pass to Tay Ferguson. The 2-point conversion pass was no good. And now Hudson has gotten on the board with a touchdown run to cap off a short drive. Spargs, you never know exactly what you're going to get in the first game of the season. What we're getting here tonight is a lot of offense from both teams.
Yeah, we are. Hopefully, I'm on right now. We still have a little bit of technical difficulty, so we'll do the best we can with that. But yeah, both offenses looking sharp. One mistake by each interception. The rest has been all offense and pretty sharp for an early season game like this one, the first one of the year.
Number of new things for the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes this season. Number one, a new head coach in Tom Westcott, although he's been part of this program as an assistant for the last 4 seasons, takes over as the head man. And one of the things that Coach Westcott implemented in his first season as head coach is this fast tempo offense. He's trying to make use of his playmakers, and Eau Claire Memorial's got a number of them, starting with Tay Ferguson, the wide receiver who's already committed to Division I Brown University to play in the Ivy League. You got Julius Clark, Bryce Hedke as other options in the receiving game, both guys that are multi-sport athletes and guys that have speed. And then you factor in the running back Shamar Simmons, who gives them a big back at 6 feet, 190, and Shamar Simmons is a senior, so he's in his third year as a regular for the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes. Interesting start so far. Raiders, of course, ran the table last year to win the Big Rivers Conference, but then were upset in level one of the playoffs to fellow BRC rival Chippewa Falls. The kick is away and taken by Tay Ferguson. He breaks out of the pack. Ferguson across the 40, his second really nice kick return for the Old Abes, and they'll start in good field position on this drive. We've got 3 minutes, 33 seconds to go. The sponsor of our pregame show. Play It Against Sports. Buy, trade in, or trade up. Get ready for your season at Play It Against Sports on Hamilton Avenue in Eau Claire. Abes will start on the Raiders, or check that on their own 42-yard line. Aaron Gunlock, the quarterback. Handoff straight up the middle, and that goes to Khalil Belden, who's seen some playing time tonight as Shamar Simmons gets a rest. Simmons, one of a number of Abe's players that's playing both ways tonight, Sparks. So that's something we want to keep an eye on. Tay Ferguson, Julius Clark, Bryce Hetke playing both ways for the Old Abes. Check that last carry was by Shamar Simmons.
Yeah, a lot of skilled players, especially from Memorial, going both ways. It's a warm night, so they'll need some help here in the second half.
Simmons, great second effort and well blocked up the middle. Jack Model, the center, the guards, Jake Graham, Silas Bonner. It's a first down for Memorial. Well, after that hiccup on that very first drive, Sparks, it looks like the Abe's offense has kind of settled in and is doing its thing here.
Yeah, it really is. And again, you got to give credit to Aaron Guldak. He's the new quarterback this year, but the offensive line has given him time, and that's exactly what he needs to find those skilled receivers.
From the 41, Gunlock, plenty of time, looking deep. Now he'll roll, fires it deep downfield, intended for Ferguson, but he was out of bounds. Alexander Healy on defense that time for the Hudson Raiders.
Yeah, well covered on there. Good job by Gunlock just throwing that one out of bounds and make sure he doesn't take a sack.
2nd and 10 for the Abes. Simmons finds a crease right side. Shamar Simmons takes it down to the 30-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Old Abes.
That run game has really started to click now here late in the first quarter. The Old Abes are finding gaps and really trying to make some push up front.
Simmons again will cut it back left, drops the shoulder, gets down to the 25-yard line. Griffin Swarbrick in on the tackle for the Hudson Raiders. Helping out that time, Carter Collins, number 55. 2nd and 6 for the Abes. Simmons again. Power running, gets inside the 25. They're going to mark him down right around the 22-yard line to bring up a 3rd and short.
Shamar Simmons, 6 foot, 190. He is a load. When he gets through, like you said, he likes to drop those shoulders and really power through. 3rd and short here now.
Clark split out wide to the right. Gunlock rolling out, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Griffin Swarbrick diagnosed that play and drops Gunlock for a big loss, and it's going to bring up 4th and long now for the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes.
Great play right there by Swarbrick from Hudson. He just read his keys and stayed home. When the quarterback booted out, he was right there for that play.
Abes will go for it. Gunlock over the middle. Ferguson is there, tipped, and he can't hang on. Great effort by Tay Ferguson, but some good coverage that time by the Raiders, and Hudson will take over in pretty good field position right at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, how about that matchup? You got Tay Ferguson going out there as your receiver, and he was guarded by Tyler Lazard. Those two are probably the two best athletes in around the area, and I was going to say in the conference, but of course now the BRC is with Hudson and Eau Claire Memorial is over with Wisconsin Valley, so this is a non-conference, but boy, those two are just two outstanding athletes.
Raiders will take over. Steele Homey is their quarterback. That name sounds familiar. He was a baseball player for the Raiders. They're running option near side, and getting it is Daniel Dufek, and he takes it to the 35. You can be part of a Marshfield tradition at Maple Fall Fest. Don't miss the 32nd annual Maple Fall Fest Saturday, September 14th and 15th, Wildwood Park and Zoo in Marshfield. Learn more at visitmarshfield.com and follow them on Facebook. Raiders keep it on the ground. Peyton Pingle pushing forward for a short gain. 3rd and 2 as time winds down in this first quarter from Raiders Stadium. Sparks, a really nice venue for high school football.
Oh, absolutely. A beautiful place to play, great for this high school team. And the facilities around Hudson have just grown up and done such a great job of really making this top notch.
10 seconds left. Homie will pitch. And Dufek pushing forward, and based on that spot, he'll have the first down with just 3.9 seconds remaining.
That's enough for Hudson Raiders. First down.
So first down Raiders, and that'll do it for the first quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. We want to take a moment to thank our amazing...
One quarter in the books. It is Hudson on top of Eau Claire Memorial by a score of 14-12. All right, one quarter in the books. We'll step aside. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Feind has been based in Marshfield since 1955. And if you're in business that long, you're obviously doing many things right. We always focus on selling world-class products, backing it up with world-class customer support.
Working with Bauer & Feind Business Technologies has been a pleasure. We have staff on call that we can call if we ever have issues, and the printer usability has been really easy, user-friendly.
Give us a call, visit our website. We'd be happy to come in, talk to you. Maybe there's a way we can help you save some money and work more efficiently.
Welcome to Bruce Orthodontics, where we provide comprehensive orthodontic care to patients of all ages. We are now accepting new patients, and we accept most insurances.
Orthodontics is much more than just a job to me. It is my passion and my life. What separates us from other orthodontists is constant continuing education for myself and my staff, compassion and dedication.
Back to live action, second quarter, and the option play working like a charm for the Hudson Raiders. Peyton Pingle goes 58 yards down the far sideline for a Hudson Raiders touchdown.
Yeah, ran that option to the short side of the field. Excellent pitch on that one, and he broke out and got his speed. Just ran away from the defenses. They kind of must have had poor angles, not realizing how fast he was because he pulled away in the secondary for a long run and a big score there for the Raiders.
58 yards for Peyton Pingle. Now, Matthew Osejan for the extra point. Right-footed kicker puts it between the uprights. And just like that, the Hudson Raiders have moved out to a 21-12 lead over the Eau Claire Memorial Old A's. We'll step aside again. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
That play started and the clock wasn't even running. It was still 0 on the clock.
Tay Ferguson on the return for the Eau Claire Memorial Old A's, and he is swallowed up and dropped. Griffin Swarbeck and Daniel Dufek on kick coverage for the Hudson Raiders, so the Old A's will start this drive in their own territory. Herrick and Hart Law Office has been on the side of the injured since 1951. Find them at eauclairlaw.com. Aaron Gunlock will bring the Old Abes out for this drive. Clare Memorial has shown the ability to move the football. The key for the Abes is to stay ahead of the sticks, not put themselves in third and long, fourth and long type situations. But what we've seen in this game so far, Sparks, is the Abes have some big playability.
They do, and that's why they're trying to go this up-tempo. Now let the defense make any substitutions, be quick to the ball and quick snaps.
Belden, the ball carrier. Good run by Khalil Belden, and he takes it across the 35. It's a first down for Memorial.
Yeah, he's going to bring a different package than you got Simmons, that power running back, where you got Belden's going to be a little more shifty, a little quicker inside.
Gunlock. Pressure coming, and he is dropped. Kind of a slow developing play. They had Ferguson running down the seam on the far side in a little curl pattern. There wasn't much there, and then the other receivers were running deep routes, and Gunlock takes the sack, second and long now. Tossing it deep down the sideline, nearly intercepted, and Tay Ferguson acting like a defensive back to knock that one away. Otherwise, that's a pick for the Raiders.
Yeah, you said it. All of a sudden, he saw that ball being overthrown just a little bit. He went and made a great job of knocking it out of the defensive back's hands, but a little miscommunication here because as Ferguson broke that off to the sideline, he kind of slowed down to see the ball, and he'd already thrown it and was going deep with it.
Hetke slot left. Clark wide left. Gunlock will run. He slides. He gets back close to the original line of scrimmage, but that's going to bring up a fourth and right around 10 yards to go. So decision time for Tom Westcott and the Abes, and it looks like they're sending the punt team out.
Yeah, that should be a pretty quick decision there, being fourth and long like that. But I do believe that's our first punt in the game. We've had a couple of chains of possessions on pass interceptions, and then we also had a fourth down the Abes were unable to convert on. So here's our first punt of the game, but Old Abes are going to take a timeout here to talk about it.
We'll keep it right here. We'll tell you that Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for patients of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office, and they accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they are changing lives one smile at a time. Call their Marshfield office to set up a free consultation today. Mancino's Grinders and Pizza is locally owned and operated. They've been a family tradition for more than 27 years. For the best hot sandwich in town, grab a grinder at Mancino's, conveniently located just off of Business Highway 53 at Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. And whether it is water skiing, baseball, or golf, Shepke Chiropractic has got your back. For all your sports-related injuries this summer, you can rely on Shepke Chiropractic to get you back in the game. Visit us online, ShepkeChiropractic.com. Among the other changes for the Abes this season, Sparks, the white helmets. First time Memorial has worn the white helmets since the early 1990s.
Yeah, that was back when I was coaching in the day. But, yeah, when you said white helmets this season, that's the first thing I remembered. It was back in my coaching days. That's what we had. Whoa, shanked on the punt there.
Ooh, that one did not even go back to the line of scrimmage. Ooh.
I don't know if one of those up guys walked back into him and the ball just kicked off the rear end of one of those protectors, or he just simply shanked it off his foot. I got a feeling one of those up protectors got pushed back into that kick.
Yeah, it was pretty good pressure up the middle by the Raiders. They will take over now on the Old Abes 35 and a chance to put even more distance between themselves and Eau Claire Memorial. Steele Homey brings them to the line. Receivers either side. The pitch, Aiden Jamison bouncing off a blocker. Good defense by the Abes. Leading the way that time, Jacob Moretto, the linebacker.
Yeah, Moretto, an outstanding job. He set the edge and then forced that back inside and stepped up and made a great play. Only a 2-yard pickup right there.
Check that, a 1-yard gain. Jamison again trying that near side. This time he gets inside the 30 before getting knocked out of bounds. We'll give you that Old Abes defense. Up front, the tackles, Kane Lyons, Gus Chumas, and Luke Johnson. Ends are Josh Lorcher, Jacob Moretto, kind of a hybrid end linebacker, and then playing in a traditional linebacker set, Zach Higdon, Shamar Simmons. Corners, Julius Kark, Bryce Hetke, Ryan Schultz, Tay Ferguson are the safeties. Another option pitch to the far side. Raiders.
Ryan
Will
Schultz
Pruzek on the tackle.
Yeah, Ryan Schultz, great open field tackle there. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's going to have that corner and might score a touchdown. 4th and short, Hudson going for it.
And the Abes are going to call a timeout.
Yeah, you can hear the
Hudson
coaches.
Raiders had a receiver split to the near side with nobody covering him, and had Hudson snapped that right away, Homie would have had about as easy a pitch and catch as you could have in a varsity football game.
Yeah, great job by the coaches upstairs realizing that, and they were screaming down to the sideline to call a timeout, and they were lucky to get that timeout before the ball was snapped. Yeah, Ferguson, who's usually the wide guy, just did not look behind him as the Hudson Raider receiver had split out a little further, and he was simply, like you said, standing out here all by himself. And so a good job by the Memorial staff seeing that and getting that timeout to save him.
Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for patients of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office, and they accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they are changing lives one smile at a time. Call their Marshfield office to set up a free consultation today. Culligan Water specializes in all your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. 4th and 2 for the Raiders. It's a long 2-yard line, or 2 yards from the far hash. Homie over the middle, tipped. Incomplete, but a penalty marker is down.
Yeah, they're going to get Julius Clark climbing over the back there of Lazard. And that's exactly why that Clark on him, though, is trying to match up with his speed, but they're saying he closed just a little too early.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Results in first down.
So the defensive pass interference penalty, which is assessed from line of scrimmage, will give the Raiders a first down, and their drive will continue. As we got 9 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, no surprise Hudson goes to Tyler Lazard on that 4th down. He was the conference player of the year last year on offense, and again, he's so big, so physical, and so fast. He is just a tough matchup for anybody.
Getting a lot of attention from the colleges, and he's been a 3-year regular. Homie on the handoff and tracked down in the backfield. They tried that reverse with Jamison, but the Abes closed well again. It's Moretto.
Yeah, Moretto again doing a great job on that edge, working inside out. He saw that fake handoff and just stayed with his key, and he made a great play there in the backfield.
Eight and a half to go. 2nd and 14 now for the Raiders. Lazard in a stack on the near side. Homie, quarterback draw. Still on his feet, gets inside the 15-yard line, spins his way down to the 13. So he gets some of that yardage back, so it's 3rd and 9 now for the Raiders.
Yeah, when Homie tucked that down, you could tell it was just a quarterback draw all the way, but he looked like he was going to get more yardage than he did, so good job by the Old Apes closing up on that one. 3rd and long.
Yeah, keep your eye on Lazard. He split out to the right side. Movement up front, but the A's got back. Homie fakes the handoff, still on his feet, inside the 5, and he's wrestled down there.
Well, good job by Steele Homie, just giving that ride. He rode the back and made it look like he gave to him, and then he kept him, went right up the middle. Good blocking up front by this new offensive line, a little young and experienced, but they are definitely ready for the season.
Steele Homie, the latest in a long line of really good option quarterbacks here at Hudson, and not too surprising because Coach Adam Cowles was a really good option QB back in the day. De La Salle High School in the Twin Cities, and a nice career at UW River Falls. Everybody's stacked to the near side now. Homie on the keeper, and he's dropped. Raiders will have it 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage now the 3. Homie keeps it. Drops the shoulder, stacked up. Now the scrum pushing both sides, and Homie will be stopped short. Abe's come out of there with the football, but I think the whistle had long since blown.
Yeah, they're going to say forward progress was stopped by then.
So now it's 3rd and goal for the Hudson Raiders. Jamison in motion, the Lassard jump ball, he's got it.
Well, there again, that size. All he did was a little in route, got Julius Clark leaning inside. Good ball to the outside corner, and Lazard just simply out jumps him and just takes it away. And unfortunately, Julius Clark is hobbling off the field.
So Steele Homie, touchdown pass. The Raiders extend that lead. 27-12, pending this extra point from Matthew Osejan. Kick on the way, and it is good. Hudson Raiders 28, Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's 12. 6:16 to go, 2nd quarter. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Still struggling? Oh.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
We are back at Raider Stadium. Hudson 28, Eau Claire Memorial 12. 6:16 to go here in quarter number 2. A fairly big drive coming up here for the Old Abe Spargs. Margin of 16 points right now, and remember the Raiders will receive the kick to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, you're trying to keep up with them, and unfortunately, they've had 5 possessions. Out of those 5 possessions, they've had 4 TDs, and then they threw 1 interception that Ryan Schultz got for the Old Abes. So again, their offense has been very potent.
Old Abe's on the return. A little juggling act that time for Jackson Zuliger, who's back there returning the kick. It worked out all right for the Old Abes after some anxious moments as he received the football, but the return out to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, a little hairy to start out, but a great job of just maintaining possession. And he ran hard up the middle to pick up some good distance there. And he, like I said, starting out at 40 is a great job there for the Old Abes.
Dutlack remains at quarterback. He's got Ferguson split wide left. Hand off Shamar Simmons. Simmons out to the 45-yard line. Well, if you're looking at positives for the Abes, I think the running of Shamar Simmons has got to be one of those.
Yeah, since that first opening drive, he's been getting about 4 or 5 a crack.
Simmons again. Cutback. He's got the first down and more into Raiders territory.
Yeah, pickup of 10 on that one. So 4 yards and then 10 on back-to-back carries. Shamar Simmons getting warmed up.
Some new names on this Eau Claire Memorial offensive line. Jack Modell's the center. Guards are Jake Graham, Silas Bonner, Luke Johnson, Kane Lyons. Out on the tackles. Again, they keep it on the ground. Simmons pushing forward. They're going to mark him down right at the 42-yard line. Yeah, we got a Hudson Raider down on the field, and that looks like it's Nehemiah Dunbar, who's one of their top defensive players. I can tell you that Fleet Farm's bucket sale is going on now. Buy a 5-gallon Fleet Farm bucket and get 15% off everything you can fit inside of the bucket. Shop the best prices guaranteed today in-store or online at fleetfarm.com. Whether you are buying or selling, turn to the team at Jesperson Group, Century 21 affiliated. The Jesperson Group has a pulse on the local real estate market. They can help you with both existing homes and new builds and can assist you through every step of the process. Search Century 21 Jesperson Group to see current listings. then step confidently into the real estate world knowing that you have the Jesperson Group by your side. They make the home buying and selling process simple, not stressful. That is what you get with Jesperson Group, C21 affiliated. Good to see Nehemiah Dunbar walking off the field, albeit a little slowly. He's a guy, 6'2", 200. He's one of those edge rushers. We talk about Hudson has always had those good option quarterbacks. They've also had guys that can get after the passer. 2nd and 6 for the Old Abes. Again, Simmons. Couple cuts. Takes it down right around the 35-yard line. Another first down for the Abes.
Yeah, excellent job planting that left foot and getting upfield. Just dragging a couple of guys with him to get the first down.
And you can see the maturity there of Simmons. He's a 3-year starter, and every year he's added a little something to his game. Gunlock, here comes pressure. Gunlock down the far sideline, intended for Ferguson, but incomplete.
Yeah, tough one right there. As Gunlock had a hand right in his face as he was throwing that one.
Clock stops, 4:59 left. Second quarter, again, Abes with that hurry-up offense. Gunlock again. Here comes pressure from the backside. Picked up on a nice block by Simmons. Tay Ferguson evading tacklers and gets down the sideline. And a nice game for the Old Abes inside the 25-yard line.
Well, the only reason that ball gets out there to Ferguson is, like you said, Shamar Simmons. You talked about his progression through the years. He picked up that blitz off the edge and allowed him time to get rid of the ball, and Gunlock was able to find Ferguson.
1st and 10, Abes. Line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line. Simmons trying to bounce it outside. Cuts it back. Good job. Swarbrick turned him back inside, but Simmons was able to slip past him and get a couple yards when it looked like he was going to be dropped for a loss. Handoff Simmons. Good penetration by the Raiders, but again, Simmons makes a guy miss and takes it down inside the 15.
Yeah, he makes a guy miss in the backfield, and then he breaks the tackle about 3 yards down to pick up a good 5-6 on that carry. Basically, they're in 4-down territory right now.
3rd and 4 now for the Abes. Low snap, Gunlock. Deep to the end zone. He's got Ferguson caught. Touchdown, Old Abes.
Boy, what a great post corner route. Ferguson on top, faked in that post. He probably ran 2-3 steps inside, broke to the outside corner, and Aaron Gunlock just laid it out there right where it needed to be by the sideline. What a great route right there.
Second touchdown pass from Gunlock to Ferguson. And a big answer by the Old Abes. And once again, they will line up and go for 2. Simmons plowing forward close to the goal line. Abes say he's in, and now the officials say he's in. 2-point conversion. The Abes make it a 1-score ball game. With 4 minutes to go, it's 28-20 in favor of the Raiders. Sparks, I got to say, I'm impressed again, not just with the running of Simmons, but the guys up front blocking and making that run game work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to look at Lyons, Graham, Model, Bonner, and Johnson. Outstanding job of maintaining their blocks. And, you know, we've talked about how Gunlock's had time to throw the football, and that's, again, it's the quality of the job of the guys up front. You know, give it to the bigs. They're doing a great job so far.
At Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, whether you are a professional athlete, weekend warrior, or simply have an aching joint, rest assured that you will receive unsurpassed care delivered with compassion and respect. When you need it most, visit the sports medicine experts at Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Pressure now shifts to the Old Abes defense to try to keep the Raiders off the board before the half. And Sparks, as you pointed out, the Raiders been really efficient when they've had the football.
Yeah, I was just going to go back to Tay Ferguson. He just simply left off from last year. He was the conference leading receiver with 33 catches, over 470 yards and 14 per catch. He's doing the same thing tonight, just running great routes, and they're finding him. And again, Hudson's unable to control him in the secondary. But now, like you said, back to the Old Abe defense, they've got to come up with a stop here late in the second.
And Sparks, we even talked about it on the drive over here, how much we were looking forward to watching these two outstanding receivers, Dave Ferguson and Tyler Lassard, and boy, they have both picked right up where they left off last year. Raiders on the return, and they'll start this drive right at their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, Tyler Lassard last year, he had 26 catches for over 600 yards. He averaged 23 yards per catch, and he had 9 touchdowns. He was that big play guy. Same thing tonight. He had that big interception. He ran back down to the 2-yard line. Hudson punched it in, and he had a couple of big catches later on in this first half. So, again, like you said, watching two just very, very talented athletes out there.
And Sparks, you coached in this conference for a long time. You've been following this conference for 30 years. You don't often see a player of the year who's an underclassman. And that's what Tyler Lassard was last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Really kind of the runaway conference of player of the year as a junior.
Raiders will keep it on the ground. Dropped for a short gain that time is Cooper Adair.
Nice job by Ryan Schultz here on the perimeter. Kind of string that out. They call feathering, where he's playing between the two. He's got the quarterback to pitch, and so he just feathered that to kind of make them hesitate and slow down, and they get the inside out fill.
Homie pitches to Jamison. Jamison down the near sideline, and he gets it across the 40, short of the 45, knocked out of bounds. Clock will stop at 3:22 left.
Yeah, plenty of time here in the second quarter.
Hudson has done a really nice job, Sparks, running to the near side of the field.
Yeah, they go short side because it looks like Memorial's kind of using strength to the wide side of the field.
Homie, quarterback draw. He gets it across the 50-yard line. Good gain for Steele Homie.
Yeah, I like how Homie takes that snap and he hesitates. He allows the offensive line to simply turn their defensive lines and make a seam so he can find one. Good patience from him.
Lassard split out wide right. They'll send a man in motion, and they will hand it off to Will Prusek. He slips one tackle. He's knocked out of bounds, but he'll have a first down with 2:54 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, good look on that jet sweep right there. Again, you watch this Hudson offense, they basically just run 5 plays. They'll run 5 plays, but they can go left or right, but they're just so efficient, and they're so well-schooled in how to just execute on those 5 plays.
From the Abe's 42-yard line. Raiders will hand it off and drop behind the line of scrimmage for a big loss. Great penetration by the Old Abe's that time. Aiden Jamison took that handoff, had absolutely nowhere to go.
And again, Ryan Schultz, he has stood out on defense, and it hasn't been much that they've been able to do, but he's one guy that has come and made some big plays. And here's an opportunity now for the Old Abe's to get off the field as it's 2nd and 15.
Under 2.5 minutes to go here, second quarter. Abe's one of their best defensive plays of this first half. Raiders looking at a 2nd and 15. Homie over the middle, looking for Lassard. It's knocked away at the last minute. Tay Ferguson.
Great coverage. There they are, the two matched up again. Ferguson and Lassard, and this time Ferguson wins the battle.
Sparks, if we weren't doing these games, I'd pay money to buy a ticket to watch these two guys play. These
absolutely
are really high-end athletes.
They really are. You said it. I mean, if we weren't broadcasting, we'd be out there just enjoying the game from the stands and just really focused on those two athletes.
3rd and 15 now for the Raiders. Lassard goes in motion. He's running a short pattern. He'll get the pass. Lassard inside the 40, fighting for extra yardage down the sideline. Tyler Lassard finally steps out of bounds, but not before a big gain. And the Raiders get the ball into the red zone.
Oh, great adjustment by the Raiders staff right there. Instead of running Lassard deep, they simply ran him underneath everybody. Everybody else went deep, and Lassard just cut across the middle, and they dumped it down to him about 5 yards deep and let him do the rest. And sure enough, with his speed and size, Old Abe's could not bring him down. He picks up big yards.
He did step out at the 24, so a little better field position in terms of the Old Abe's. The Raiders will take a timeout. We'll step aside as well to hear from one of our sponsors. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports. He's minute 55 to go, second quarter. Hudson Raiders leading Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's 28-20. The Raiders are driving, and they've got the football on the Memorial 24-yard line. Steele-Homey, the quarterback. He's going to run option near side and keep it. Homey dropped inside the 25-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 23.
Higdon, good job, Zach. Coming inside out there. Good job as a linebacker filling in there. Short gain only of 1.
2 receivers left. Now a man in motion is Pengel.
Ooh, a lot of room on that
Homey
edge.
running option. Got some room, and he's stacked up. Good gain for Homey. The clock will continue to move. Lassard back in the game for the Raiders, and he will line up wide right. All the Raiders looking for a play to come in from the sideline, now being signaled in by their coaching staff.
Yeah, no rush here. Just over a minute, but they still have 2 timeouts left.
And remember, Hudson will get the kick to start the third quarter. Abe's looking for a stop here on third down. Homey will keep it. He fires it behind. Kind of a reverse jump pass. Peyton Pengel, I don't think I've ever seen that, Sparks.
Yeah, that one was a little dangerous.
It was a backward-forward pass running on the option.
Yeah, that one, he got himself in trouble because he couldn't pitch it like he normally wanted to with the pressure, so he just jumped up and threw it over to him.
Clock continues to move. Snap to Homey. He'll hand it off near side.
Got a horse collar.
And a horse collar tackle, and the Abes are going to get flagged. Peyton Pengel, the bar carrier, and he got wrapped up from behind, and that penalty is going to move the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Tay Ferguson unfortunately reached up and tried to bring him down, but got inside the neck area there and dragged him down, so that'll be half the distance to the goal and a first down with 27 seconds left here in the second.
So the Raiders knocking on the door again. They've already put up 28 points in this first half. You could call this a defense optional game, but you know how it is, Sparks. I mean, you can go through your practices and go through your scrimmages, but when it gets game time, especially when you're playing offenses like we have tonight, boy, the defense is going to have a lot of adjusting to do because you're seeing stuff you haven't seen in the previous 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's the key, right? You got to make adjustments on defense. Your offense is your offense. They're going to run their plays. The defense always has to adjust to that.
Raiders will hand it off. It's Pengel. He is stacked up. And now we'll get a whistle. And a timeout taken by the Raiders. HS Fence specializes in chain link, vinyl, wood, and ornamental fencing. They have been providing commercial and residential fencing to the people of Wisconsin for the last 18 years. Contact them today in Fall Creek. We're at hsfencewi.com. All right, Sparks, we're going to ask you to put your offensive coordinator hat on here. If you're the Raiders, what are you looking to do?
Well, it's second down to 6 with 21 seconds left. I think I'm going to go a little play action. You know, they got this guy named Tyler Lazard. I might want to try to find him. You know, again, he runs that little post corner route to perfection. Throw it up, let him go get it. Or this time, right, run that little post and just hit him quickly with it. And he'll do the rest with his size and strength. So, yeah, I think I got to get this ball in the air.
Yeah, I mean, in a situation like this, you want to get it to your playmakers, and he's their number one guy. For the Abes, how are you going to defend this? You know Hudson's capable of running option. They still have a timeout left to take, but how do you try to play this if you're Memorial?
Well, you got to double him up. You got to find him. You got to put a man in his face, and hopefully you can have somebody behind him for a little extra help. But right now, Hudson spread them all out, so it's going to be just straight man-to-man with one over the top. But he is not cheating towards Lazard at all. I guess if you look at it real closely here on the film, you can see how Ferguson's going to try to take away the outside, and that free safety in the middle will probably be there for that inside slant. So I would think that that's what Memorial would try to do, is just simply, find a way to double up him and make the Hudson go to somebody else.
That's Bryce Hetke, who's standing right on the E of the Raiders in the end zone, and Tay Ferguson doubled up on Tyler Lassard, and those guys having a friendly chat.
Oh, yeah.
On the near side. Those guys go back.
Yes, absolutely. They know each other well. Yeah, we'll see if Hedke cheats this way, then help with Lazard on this side.
2 receivers to the far side. So they have a slot receiver on the right side. Steele Homey takes the snap. He's going to run it. Homey spinning right at the goal line, and he is stopped short.
Now the clock should stop for the first down.
Yep.
And it finally did.
So now the Raiders, they have a timeout to take. 12 and a half seconds.
Now the clock's running here. So
now the clock is running. And now we'll get the whistle and the timeout with 6.7 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that was an interesting situation there offensively. I thought if, with the first down, if they would have hustled up and gotten to the line, they could have run a play. And if they didn't get in, then they could have used a timeout. So they could have really had 2 possessions right there. But instead, they weren't ready, and the clock ran, and he just was like, all right, we'll use the timeout and just save it for 1 play, and we'll get the right play in.
I mean, you could have even spiked it there, too, because you're on the 1.
Yep,
and that would have let you, you could have kind of collected yourself. You still have 3 downs. You still have 3 cracks on it, but.
Yeah. But again, just would have been one of those 2 things, like you said, spike it or take the play and run it real quick on the snap. Once that whistle goes, you just run a play and then call a timeout right after it if you don't get in. But I do like that spike play actually, right? Just catch it, spike it,
you save
and now
some time.
You've got time to get the call in that you want.
Time.
Yeah. And then he would have had time for 2 plays no matter what. So now you're kind of, unless you run a fade here, then you'd have time for another one. But
yeah, I think if you're going to throw it,
if you run it, that's it. Yeah.
So here we go. Raiders 1st and goal from the run. Homey looking to pass. And it's
Picked
intercepted by Tay Ferguson. And that's a big stop for the Old A's.
Yeah, Homey underthrew that. He did not get it up over the top of Ferguson. He had Lazard in the corner, but he underthrew it. Ferguson undercut the throw. He comes up with the big play.
Well, how big of a play is that from Tay Ferguson? And you're right, Spargs. If he throws that up in the air, well, then you get a jump ball between Ferguson and Lassard, arguably the 2 best athletes out there and the 2 big guys. But that one was just underthrown.
Yeah, I don't think you can overthrow Lazard. I think that's the kind of the mentality you got to have if you're going to throw it up to him. Throw it up and let him get it, and don't have a chance for anybody else to get as high as he can.
So Eau Claire Memorial will line up in the victory formation, and they will take a knee here, and that'll do it for the first half. And what a first half it is. There's a snap, there's the kneel down, and time has expired. Hudson 28, Eau Claire Memorial 20. Sparks, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get in the first game of the season. Tonight, we're getting a heck of a lot of offense, and this is a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. We've only had 1 punt the whole first half. Like I said, tremendous job by both offenses. Really efficient and really not many penalties at all. They've really just done a nice job running their systems, being very effective with it. Hudson, of course, has been running this offense forever. Those kids just keep rotating through all their extra reps they get from last year. They're ready to go, but Memorial a little different tonight. Now they're running the same offense, but at a lot quicker pace. And usually when you do that, you worry about mistakes, right? You worry about going too fast for the first game, and you get jumping penalties, offsides, or procedures. And they haven't had that, so they've done a great job at that high tempo.
And think about it, Sparks. It was that first drive for the A's. They had a holding penalty on the kick return, backed up, incomplete pass. Then they throw a pick. It wasn't a pick 6, but Lassard took it back to the 1. Hudson scored on the next play. So that turnover led to the first 7 points of the game. You take that away, and all of a sudden we get an even game. But I think Eau Claire Memorial goes to the locker room feeling really good about how things have transpired in this first half.
Oh, absolutely, especially when you think back to last year, 48-0 Hudson won, and we're just in control from the first snap. I mean, it was just blatantly obvious that Hudson was just way better than Memorial last year. Well, what a difference a year makes. Hudson's winning right now, but Memorial is in the game, and they're excited.
We will take an extended break here at halftime. Again, your score, Hudson 28, Eau Claire Memorial 20. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Hello, football fans. Jason Zaleski here. It is halftime at your game. We'll have you back for second half action here momentarily. But first, A couple things that we've got going on around here. We've got a lot in store for you here in this halftime show. We'll talk to you about magazine, talk to you about VIP, talk to you about highlights, all kinds of stuff. But for now, let's start with action from last night. It was Thursday night football opener across the state of Wisconsin, and 5 games here on Zaleski Sports last night. Over 16,000 of you tuned in to last night's football games. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being back tonight. 11 games here tonight, and your game again. Halftime now. We'll be back to second half action soon. Let's talk about yesterday's games, and we had 5 games featuring Wisconsin Valley Conference teams, the new Wisconsin Valley Conference, versus Big Rivers teams, the new Big Rivers Conference. And what a showing from the Big Rivers Conference. Big Rivers football teams went 5-0 last night. It was a night sweep for the Big Rivers Conference. They outscored the Wisconsin Valley football opponents 153-84, including a couple of romps. Rice Lake over DC Everest 44-17, and it was River Falls over Wisconsin Rapids 44-21. So a couple of blowouts there. Some closer ones. New Richmond Marshfield 7-6. It was a Marshfield defensive score. The extra point failed, and Marshfield failed in the end, losing at home by 1 to the New Richmond Tigers. That was Tigers on Tigers action from last night. Menominee and Eau Claire North, the Mustangs on the road got over Eau Claire North 22-19. Both teams with chances to score in that fourth quarter, but neither able to put it in. Eau Claire North ends up turning the ball over on downs late in the quarter, and Menominee able to kneel it out. And then the other score, it was Chippewa Falls over Spash 36-21. That score was even a little bit wider of a margin as far as the gameplay was concerned. So really 3 of the 5 were blowouts, two tight ones, but in the end, the Big Rivers Bullies bowl over Wisconsin Valley Conference teams last night, 153-84. There's 2 more of those games in this crossover non-conference situation. It's Eau Claire Memorial visiting Hudson, and you may be at halftime of that game now. And Wausau West is up at Superior, and score will get sent in by carrier pigeon all the way up from Superior. You can find that score tomorrow morning at ZaleskiSports.com. So that was the action yesterday, and as we move to today's games, again, congratulations. You're watching one of them right now, 1 of 11. So let's talk about every other game that's going on, at least listings. I'm not going to bore you with 10 football game previews and give you all my expansive knowledge of these 10 games. I could. Halftime is not going to allow us that much time. Wrightstown at Wapaka. I mentioned Eau Claire Memorial at Hudson. All these games live right now on Zaleski Sports. Stanley Boyd visiting Colby. New Lisbon and Neilsville. It's Amherst and St. Mary Catholic over in Neenah. Auburndale at Spencer Columbus. Mosney at Stratford. Last year's Division 6 division champs, the Stratford Tigers. Due to performance factor, they have been slotted in Division 5 for football playoffs this year, should the Tigers make a playoff eligible team. I believe they will. Shiocton at Iola Scandinavia. That's an interesting game. Maybe one that you should be watching. Oak Creek at Waterford. Oak Creek Knights looking for a big season this year, and they're taking a part in a game at Waterford right now. Edgar, Division 7 state champs. They are at Ladysmith. If you're watching that game, you've been listening to me and Dan Ross there. An interesting game for sure. Edgar always likes in their non-conference, if they can play up a couple divisions, they do, and they got that chance tonight against the Lumberjacks. And then our big one tonight, it's Kaukauna and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, number 1 team in Division 3. We've got Kaukauna slotted at number 3 in Division 2. So a titanic battle going on in Green Bay right now. More on those rankings. Rankings, you say? Yeah, that's right. Zaleski Sports VIPs know these rankings already. But later on in today's show, I will go through those VIP rankings. Here's the trick, though, gang. I mentioned the other 10 games that you're not watching right now. Go grab another device, get yourself a laptop, a tablet, a phone, a TV. Go borrow your neighbor's TV, put it in your living room. You got 2 sitting on the wall there. You're big time with 2 TVs on the wall. Watch one of these other games alongside the one that you're watching now. I'll have more updates for you in just a moment. Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. Halftime show continues here on Zaleski Sports. Jason Zaleski here. Hello, friends. Zaleski Sports headlines. Here we go. This is edition 15 right here, Marshfield Area Magazine, and edition 1, Medford Area Magazine there. And you can get all your football previews for free by picking up that free weekly magazine at retail locations all around the area. Blenker, Auburndale, Hewitt, Marshfield, Stratford, Spencer, Neelsville, Greenwood, Thorpe, Withee, Abbotsford, Stetsonville, and Medford. A free weekly magazine, all color, full color, lots of pictures, high school sports, and swimming, golf, tennis, cross country, volleyball, and of course football, all in our Zaleski Sports magazine. That is free to pick up weekly at those at all those retail locations. Check Facebook at Zaleski Sports for specific retail locations. We will talk to you next. Rankings. Football rankings. I'll tell you about those in just a minute. Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. Zaleski Sports VIP members, they've already seen these rankings, and you can too. Just $5 a month. Go to ZaleskiSports.com, click VIP. I'm going to give you all of them right here. But if you want to see them, read them, look at them again, all found at ZaleskiSports.com, and just click VIP for that. We give you rankings, football, volleyball, special news updates, features, other fun stuff, and it's just $5 a month at ZaleskiSports.com. So let's start in Division 7 and our top 5. Well, we'll give you a sneak preview. We'll give you the top 5. Number 5 in D7, Potosi-Cassville, followed by River Ridge, Boyceville, Blackhawk Warren, and Edgar. The returning champs start this season here at Zaleski Sports at number 1. In Division 6, Auburndale, Mondovi, Reedsville, Westby, and Grantsburg. In Division 5, Wrightstown, Kewanee, St. Mary Springs, Darlington, and back-to-back champs Stratford start this year at Division 5, ranked number 1 here on Zaleski Sports. In Division 4, Ellsworth, Columbus, Aquinas, St. Croix Central, and Lodi tops the charts in D4. Division 3, Grafton, Port Washington, Mount Horeb, Barneveld, Lux Casco, and Notre Dame Academy, number 1 in Division 4. Division 3, New Richmond, Sun Prairie East, Kaukauna, Badger, and Rice Lake. I want to talk to you about Kaukauna and Notre Dame coming up in just a minute. That's a juicy one on our Friday schedule. And I had those out of order here. Division 1, that was Division 2. Division 1, Neenah, Waunakee, Kimberly, Marquette, and the Franklin Sabres top the charts in Division 1. Those are our rankings. Again, Zaleski Sports VIP. We will quickly turn in just a couple weeks to actual seeds. We'll give you those seed previews. That is using our formula based on the WIAA's seeding formula. So we no longer give opinions. In just a couple weeks, you will get stone cold hard facts on your favorite high school sporting teams. Friday games, we'll talk about those coming up. Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now. All right, gang, 11 games coming up on Friday. Wow. All 7 o'clock kickoffs. Again, we give you 16 total here in opening week for free. All you got to do is get to YouTube. You can watch for free with professional play-by-play Other great stuff, graphics. We give you the best that we can offer. We give it to you 16 times this opening week. Here's a schedule for Friday. Eau Claire Memorial is at Hudson. Wrightstown is at Wapaka. Stanley Boyd at Colby. New Lisbon at Neelsville Granton. Amherst at St. Mary Catholic. Auburndale at Spencer Columbus. Mosinee at Stratford. Get a first look at the two-time Division 6 state champions, now in Division 5, the Stratford Tigers. Shiocton at Iola Scandinavia. Edgar begins to defend their title, Division 7 title, at Ladysmith. Oak Creek is at Waterford. And a really good game, the juicy one, right? Kaukauna and Notre Dame. We've got Kaukauna ranked number 3 in Division 2. And then we've got Notre Dame ranked number 1 in Division 3. So 2 heavyweights going at it Friday on Zaleski Sports. Again, watch all games live. You go to right here, YouTube. You can type in Zaleski Sports. You go to ZaleskiSports.com. You can launch your game from there. Whatever suits your fancy. Social media, we've got direct links to all the games. Whatever you want, you can find the games. Just go to the place that you like most and click the game from there. So those are 11 coming tomorrow. Highlights of select games this week will be found on Facebook. You go to your favorite Facebook Zaleski Sports channel, and we give you the best 5 minutes that we found during any of these games, and we show you those highlights every weekend during the football, and then all week long once all the other sports join in, which is coming up soon. As a matter of fact, let me give you some tidbits on next week's schedule in just a bit.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Next week, this is the week of August 26th. Volleyball is live on Zaleski Sports. We bring our volleyball girls in with our football boys, and we'll have some fun. It all starts on Tuesday, and we have got a serious lineup for you on Tuesday. As a matter of fact, I got to let the computer do the calculation for me. 24 volleyball games on Tuesday. 24 volleyball games on Tuesday. That's ridiculous. Who's going to all these games? Yeah, we are. So we got 24 for you. I'm going to save you the trouble of listing all those off. You go to ZaleskiSports.com, you click the schedule button, and you can read through them all yourself. It's pretty ridiculous. More volleyball coming on Wednesday. Pacelli is going to head to St. Mary Catholic for a quad over there. Wapaka has a quad on Wednesday, so we'll give you 6 volleyball games on Wednesday. On Thursday, 1 volleyball game. That's Wisconsin Rapids at Auburndale. And then we're back to football on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And as a matter of fact, Saturday, we return to 8-player football. It's Phillips at Newman Catholic. Kickoff.
Welcome back to Raider Stadium in Hudson. Getting ready to start second half action. This has been a wild one. 28-20, Hudson leading Eau Claire Memorial. Bob Bredovich, Dave Sparger with you here from Raider Stadium. Sparks, this has been a really entertaining ball game. It's just been back and forth. Abe's came up with a big stop right there before the half as Hudson was knocking on the door. An end zone interception by Dave Ferguson. He has 2 touchdown catches for the Abes. Tyler Lassard has a touchdown catch and a ton of receiving yards for the Raiders, plus an interception of his own that set up Hudson's first touchdown. So this has been an entertaining ball game so far.
Yeah, absolutely. When you talk about, we've talked about Lazard and Ferguson, obviously that whole first half, and how about that? They've each got touchdowns, they've each got interceptions, and they end up really playing against each other quite a bit in the formations. And boy, you go back just that interception though, with 0.7 seconds left in the half. They tried to run that little fader out there to Lazard, and Ferguson got up there and intercepted that ball. Otherwise, we're looking at a 35-20 score with the Raiders starting with the second half. It could have been pretty much game over. But now all of a sudden, with the big play there, Memorial's still in it. Now they just need to come up with a defensive stop here before they get down that far.
This is a non-conference game as far as football goes, with Eau Claire Memorial and Eau Claire North moving into the Wisconsin Valley for football, even though the Old Abe's and Raiders will be Big Rivers rivals in every other sport. But based on what happened in night one, so last night, Thursday night, boy, the Big Rivers really showing out in maybe the most impressive performance coming from Chippewa Falls, rallying for a win at home over Stevens Point. Spash expected to be the class of the Wisconsin Valley Conference this season.
Yeah, how about that? The Big Rivers Conference crosses over, plays the Valley, Wisconsin Valley in all these non-conference games. And like you said, last night the Big Rivers Conference went 5-0. How about that? Our Big Rivers on the sweep last night. And tonight now we've got obviously Memorial here at Hudson, and we've got Wausau West up at Superior. So as crazy as it sounds, the Big Rivers is looking to sweep the first weekend.
One of those Big Rivers wins was last night at Carson Park, a game you saw on Zaleski Sports. It was Menominee rallying to beat Eau Claire North in a very close and very competitive game. And as we were coming up to the press box here at Raider Stadium, Mike Sins, the Menominee head coach, is here getting a look at both of these teams because he will face both of them later this season. And one of the things Sins told me was, this is as good as the Big Rivers has been. And he was just ticking down one kid after another that are talented football players that are going to have a chance of playing at the next level. And, you know, you say it all the time, but Sparks, like I said, you've been around this conference for a long time. I mean, we're talking like 30 years. You had a long assistant coaching career with Eau Claire Memorial football. We've been covering it now for, you know, a number of years. You've stayed plugged in with everything, but I tend to agree because there really are no bad teams, and everybody has got a number of difference makers they can put on the field.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? I mean, all of a sudden now, you look at all 7 of those teams in the Big River Conference, they've got go-to players. They've got athletes that can make plays. And to think that the Big Rivers has a chance to sweep the Wisconsin Valley in the first weekend, I mean, that's saying something how strong the Big Rivers is. And like over the years, you know, like you said, I've been around this conference for 30-some years, and boy, the Wisconsin Valley has always been the premier conference. It's always been the one that the Big Rivers has looked up to and watched them and tried to emulate on their success and what they do with their programs. And obviously these last couple of years, the Big Rivers has just made great strides. All their teams in the programs, either it's in the weight room or if it's their offensive schemes or they're just the extra coaching these kids are getting now. It's just amazing to watch how good this conference is this year.
And we're going to be having a chance to watch a number of those Valley teams when they come to Carson Park to play the Old Abe's this season. And I would have to think, now granted it's really early, okay? We don't want to draw huge conclusions, but I think, just based on what I've seen and watching North for a full game last night against Menominee and watching Memorial for a half here against Hudson, I think the 2 Eau Claire schools, I think they'll slide in and fit in pretty well with the Valley.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Again, we thought North might be a little down this year. They had so many skilled players leave from last year, but again, last night they showed that they just plugged in and they just kept going. So close to pulling off that one against Menominee last night. Here tonight, Memorial's already got 20 points up on a Hudson team that shut them out last year.
Hayden Jamison, the deep man, picks that one off the turf, and Jamison to the 50, to the 40. He's got a blocker out there. Jamison taken down inside the 30-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle by Brody Neff, and the Raiders are off and running here to start this second half.
Boy, what a way to start the second half for the Raiders. Instant momentum.
And how often do we see that, Sparks, when the ball, you know, kind of sits there on the turf for a couple seconds, it somehow the coverage team, somehow the timing gets thrown off there.
Yeah, you're right. They get out of their lanes, right? They're almost like they're looking for the football rather than just staying in their lanes and looking for who picks it up and runs with it. So again, they broke it through and a good return. 1st and
10 Raiders from the Abe's 28. Steele Homey will keep it. The pitch, near side, Peyton Pengel is knocked out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Looks like that was Brody Neff here on the edge. The nice play, forcing that one out of bounds.
And again, Hudson doing a good job running to the near side. Gain of 5, brings up a 2nd and 5. Handoff up the middle, Daniel Dufek plowing forward. Close to first down yardage, marked a yard short.
Yeah, nice little counter play there for Hudson. Make it 3rd and 2.
Fast-moving game with neither of these teams really huddling up. inside reverse and getting down to the 15-yard line and getting a first down in the process. Hudson Raiders will have a first down.
Yeah, Hudson kind of went with a quick offensive set there. Got the ball set, ran the snap real quick, kind of catch the Old A's off.
Pingle, the ball carrier. He's marked down at the 16, 1st and 10 Raiders. Their opening possession of the third quarter. Homie on the pitch. Pingle near side. Pingle inside the 10, down inside the 5. Actually, they're going to mark him down. They'll say his knee is down. They're going to mark him down right at about the 7-yard line.
Good stock block right there by that Hudson's Dane Burr, number 84. Helped set that perimeter so he could get a couple of good yards after that.
2nd and short for the Raiders. They'll keep it on the ground and taking it into the end zone for the touchdown, Will Pruzek.
We got a flag on the play, though.
That flag is down on the near side, right around the numbers, just outside the 10.
Yep, it's going to be holding.
And it's coming back.
Yeah, we saw good penetration right there by the Old A's off the edge, and one guy was unable to make the tackle because he was being held right there. So that'll move back and save them touchdown.
Line of scrimmage now, the 17. Second down and call it 11 yards now for the Raiders. Option pass.
Yeah, he is looking to throw it. There it
goes. Into the end zone, incomplete. Cooper Adair took that handoff, and you could tell he was looking to throw that whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, he caught the handoff and run on the edge, and he already got it into a throwing position, so everybody knew in the secondary, but he actually threw that ball right where he needed to. It was up and high. The only person who would get it would be his receiver, just went off his fingertips.
And that receiver, Tyler Lassard. Homie rolling to the right. Pressure coming from the backside. Homie throws inside the 5. It's caught there. It'll be a first down, 1st and goal now for the Raiders.
Good patience right there from Steele Homie. Rolling out and kind of settled down there on the edge instead of just stringing it to the sideline. He settles down on the edge, waits for a receiver to come open, and fires it in there.
Get a pair of left-handed quarterbacks tonight, Sparks, but each guy is capable of throwing on the run. 1st and goal from the 2. Steele Homie will keep it, and he'll be stopped short.
Yeah, that's been their go-to play on short yardage and on the goal line here. Just fake that jet sweep, and Homie follows up inside.
No gain, so it'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, the 2. Homie, keeper again. And he's across the goal line for a Hudson Raiders touchdown. Steele Homie, his 2nd TD run of the game. And the Raiders make it a 14-point game pending the extra point. On for the extra point, Matthew Hasijan. Kick is up and good. Good hold that time. PAT makes your score. Hudson 35, Eau Claire Memorial 20. We'll step aside. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Welcome back to Raider Stadium in Hudson. 9:37 remaining in quarter number 3. Hudson Raiders took that second half kickoff, marched it downfield, and they got a 2-yard TD run from Steele Homie plus the PAT to make it a 35-20 lead over Eau Claire Memorial. Hasijan to kick it off. Tay Ferguson back for the Old Abes. It comes to the man on the near side. And taking it across the 20. And Brett Fay, number 20, a sophomore wide receiver on the return. And Spargs, we did not see Julius Clark on that return. Remember, Clark looked like he tweaked maybe an ankle or something on a play to the end zone, defending a pass in the first half. So that's something we'll keep an eye on.
Yeah, I don't think he's been back in yet since that injury occurred.
Shamar Simmons, tough running and a well-blocked play. First down, Old Aves.
Yeah, great job up front again. Just staying on people, pushing them downfield, and letting Shamar pick his spots.
Aves will take it out to the 33. Low snap, handoff Simmons. He's got room again. Shamar Simmons out towards midfield. Another first down for the Old Aves.
Boy, he is seeing those holes and just hitting them hard right now. Great job with his vision.
They're going to say the knee was down at the 49. Another low snap and another handoff to Simmons. He plows forward into Raiders territory. They'll mark him down at the Hudson 47.
Yeah, pick up a 4 right there. They should have absolutely gotten nothing. So good job of him just lowering his shoulders and driving 4 for 4.
Gunlock takes the snap. They'll keep it on the ground. Simmons plowing forward, met with some resistance there. They will mark him down at the 44-yard line to bring up a 3rd and 3. And you would think, Sparks, this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, it might be now it's across the 50, but look for a little play action maybe off that fake dive, quick slant here.
We'll keep it on the ground.
Oh,
and Belden thrown back. Khalil Belden was looking for a crease, but that hole closed quickly. Aves will go quickly. 4th and 3. They will go for it. Trailing 35-20. Gunlock throws to the far side.
He's going to have to make a miss.
Ferguson using his strength to fight forward and get the first down. Sparks, that looked like that was going to be about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, when he caught it, he's going to have to make a miss, and sure enough, he just used his strength to get through 2 guys for the first down.
Belden on the carry. Very short gain there. Quickly to line go the Aves. Line of scrimmage is the 37. Gunlock has time. Hit as he throws to the far sideline. Caught by Ferguson, out of bounds, but enough for the first down. So good job by Ferguson to know where the sticks were there.
Absolutely. He's running that deep out pattern. But again, you're going to 14, but you're coming back to 11 to make sure you get the first down.
Another low snap. Gunlock able to scoop that up, and the fact that he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage is probably the best outcome after that snap. All of a sudden, the snaps on this part of the series have been ground balls.
Yeah, he's getting. This is when the center gets a little fatigued and he starts making mistakes with that snap.
Up the middle, Belden. He gets a positive carry there. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Old Aves, and they're looking at about a 3rd and 8.
Definitely 4-down territory.
Gunlock looking over the middle. Now he's going to run. Throws it deep, incomplete. Penalty marker thrown on the far side, and he was very close to the line of scrimmage when he let that ball go.
Well, if you're in trouble, it's the right idea. It's just to get up to Ferguson, see if he can make a play for you, see what the call is.
He was very close to the line of scrimmage. I thought he got rid of it before he crossed. We'll see what the officials say. And it looks like they're picking it up.
Oh,
there we go. So it's 4th down now for the Aves.
Yeah, you were right. He was behind the line of scrimmage, but unfortunately, a lineman got downfield.
4th and 8 for Memorial. Gunlock throwing deep. Far sideline, incomplete.
Well, right into Ferguson again, but that time Hudson double-teamed him. Had a guy underneath and a guy over the top. That would have taken an absolute perfect throw, and it was not there.
I believe Sparks, I think that was Bryce Hetke.
Okay.
And you know how I can tell is Ferguson wears the orange shoes.
That's a dead giveaway. You're
so
right.
that was that was Hetke.
Shoes. You're right.
So they had an out. They had Ferguson running an out, and then they kind of leaked Hetke down. He had a step on the two defenders, but that ball was just past his outstretched arm. So now the Raiders will go back on offense, leading this one 35-20 with just under 6.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Homie, running option, pitch to Dufek. Dufek out to the 30. Good open field tackle there by the Abes.
Is that Schultz again?
Yeah, Ryan Schultz again.
Yeah, he's really done a great job on the perimeter on those.
It's a gain of 4 for Dufek. Abes crowding the box here. Homie hands it off. Dufek taken down short of the 35-yard line. Nick Ludwikowski in on the tackle. Josh Lorcher there as well. 3rd and 2 now for the Raiders.
Yeah, good hard run right there by Dufek. He was actually hit right there at the line of scrimmage. Still able to pick up 5.
3rd and 2 Hudson. Homie rolling, throwing. Caught on the far side. Receiver lost his footing, but it's enough for a first down.
Yeah, they ran that trip set right there and just dragged the guy underneath in the short flats, found him for an easy pitch and catch and first down. And we got an old Abe down there. It looks to me like he got a cramp because he was not hit or anything on the play. He just went down.
So we have a timeout. We'll take one as well. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports. Minutes, 33 seconds to go in this third quarter. Hudson Raiders have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 38, leading Eau Claire Memorial 35-20. Raiders will keep it on the ground. Running the sweep near side. A little stutter step there for Willa Pruzek. And he's taken out of bounds just beyond the 45-yard line.
Really nice job on the perimeter by the Raiders, wide receivers and out perimeter guys that are so good at stalk blocking. They just stay up and get in those D-backs' face and just try to get in the way and let the backs make their cuts and shake off anything with an arm tackle.
Snap to Homie. Pressure coming. He slips away. Steele Homie still on his feet. Into Old Abe's territory. Homie still going after that spin. Steele Homie breaking it to the outside. To the 20. To the 10. To the pylon. Touchdown, Hudson Raiders.
That is an ESPN top 10 play, folks. Wow, he should have been sacked in the backfield. Made about 5-6 guys miss, and he goes the distance.
Steele Homie. Unbelievable run that time. His 3rd touchdown run of the game, his 2nd in this quarter. And with 5:09 remaining, the Hudson Raiders have extended that lead. It is now 41-20. Matthew Sejan on for the extra point. It's up, and it is good.
That one might be the backbreaker right there. To allow that to happen and put you up 3 scores.
And Sparks, he slipped out of several tackles. He juked a couple other guys, spun out of a tackle. That was, as you said, that was a highlight reel run right there.
Yeah, just a great effort from him, just refusing to go down. Kept his feet moving, and boy, again, and part of it might just simply be the Old Abes are getting tired. You know, we talked about the number of players for the Old Abes that are going both ways, and it's a warm night. And we had a couple guys go down with cramps, and so all of a sudden here you're getting midway through the 3rd, and they're just getting a little tired, missing tackles.
So with 5:09 left, Hudson leads it 42-20. We'll keep it here as the Raiders going to take the field for the kickoff. And again, this is, we thought coming in at Eau Claire Memorial with the skill players that they'd be able to put up some points. And it's nice to see the strides that Aaron Gunlock has made at quarterback. But when you play Hudson, boy, they are going to stretch you with that option offense. And then you get a guy like Lassard out there as a pass catcher. You have to put coverage. You have to roll coverage his way. They're a tough team to defend.
Yeah, very tough to defend. And now, of course, we've gone to halftime. And this coaching staff's made adjustments, right? They're going to sit in there and go, all right, what do we got to do to slow down that Memorial offense? And so they're in there making adjustments at halftime. And it's been a little tougher now for them to move the ball.
Kick, it goes inside the 5. Old Abe's barely getting out of their own, deep in their own territory. Jackson Zuliger was back there to scoop that up again. Abe's playing without Julius Clark. We certainly hope the best for him. And again, it looked like, like an ankle injury. He's kind of hobbling off. But again, he's the guy that would be back there normally, returning kicks.
Yeah, not only that, but he's their second go-to guy as a receiver, too.
And a defender.
Good.
Abe's going up the middle with Khalil Belden. Actually, check that. It's
Zach Johnson.
Zach Johnson, yep.
He's just a sophomore.
Johnson again on the carry.
Yeah, tried to bounce that one, and again, Hudson, good job maintaining the edge. Brings up about 3rd and 5.
Abe's down by 22 points. Want to keep this drive going here. Gunlock throws over the middle. It's low. He was trying to connect with Bryce Hetke, but that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, a little pressure in his face, and then he short-armed it, so he left that one short. Tough decision right here now for the Old Abes. I mean, they're on their own 24-yard line, 23-yard line with 4th down. Yep,
and here comes the punt team. Yep. Kellen Brown is going to line up. And Hudson should come out of this with pretty good field position. Their deep man is standing at his own 40.
Yeah, the last time the Old Apes punt, it was not even a positive punt, I don't believe. Like we talked about how they got pushed back into the punt and they got blocked by one of the upbacks. So hopefully this one goes a little bit smoother for the Old Apes.
Apes need to get that 11th man out there. One of those game one type situations that seems to crop up, right, Sparks?
Yeah, absolutely. It always seems to be more special teams than anything, especially when you get guys that go down during the game. That the awareness of hey, I'm that guy's backup, and now he's not in the game. I've got to be ready, and sometimes that just slips through on that first game.
We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Be part of a Marshfield tradition at Maple Fall Fest, September 14th and 15th. Start each morning with a potato or buttermilk pancake breakfast and shop over 125 handmade arts and craft vendors. Also, make sure to check out the Kids Zone, yummy food court with maple specialties, beer garden, and a comedic grilling show with TV's Mad Dog and Merrill. Don't miss the 32nd Annual Fall Fest, Saturday and Sunday, September 14th and 15th at Wildwood Park and Zoo in Marshfield. Learn more at visitmarshfield.com and follow us on Facebook.
Homie's puking in the bucket.
Oh, nice. Back at Raider Stadium, Old Abe's back in punt formation. Kellen Brown will boot it away. He gets it away. It's a high punt, short punt. Takes a carom and is down by the Old Abes right at midfield. Nathan Arndorfer on the coverage there. We were noticing during that timeout that Steele Homey, the quarterback for the Hudson Raiders, standing next to a bucket, big garbage can on the near sideline, and apparently not feeling all that well.
Yeah, well, that last run took a lot out of him. Now you start to worry a little bit if he's – well, fortunately, they got a big lead, so they're going to hope that, Hudson obviously wants to get a stop here, and then they can get their seconds in if he's not able to go. But, yeah, that last run took a lot out of him.
Raiders will pitch it, and a good gain toward the near sideline. That's Will Pruzek.
And again, with a three touchdown lead, it's a great opportunity for their backup quarterback to come in here and run their offense.
And that backup quarterback is Cooper Adair, number 16. Adair is a junior. Another thing we talked about on the drive over, Sparks, you look at this Hudson program, they won by such margins last year. A lot of their 2s and 3s saw significant game action.
Yeah, and this is what they're ready for now.
Right up the middle goes Cooper Adair. And he will bring it into Abe's territory. He'll knock it down, or mark him down at the 46.
Well, Odell certainly looks like he's got the quicks to keep the football.
He'll hand it off on the sweep. Jamison.
Good close from the secondary.
Yeah, didn't catch the number of the Old Abe's defender that strung that play out wide. He knew he wasn't going to get to Jamison, but he just pushed him out wide and then let a teammate come in and clean up. 3rd down now for the Raiders.
Yeah, it was either Oneman or Schultz on that far side. Hard to tell from this distance, but great job in the secondary closing in.
3rd and 3 Raiders. Adair. He's going to keep it inside the 40. It'll be a 1st down for Hudson.
Well, I'll tell you what, they don't seem to lose a step there with Adair in the offense. He's very physical and athletic too, and he's kept a couple of them now and picked up good runs.
Adair listed at 6'2", 170. Still homie 6 feet, 170. But yeah, you got guys that can run, that can handle the football. Here's the pitch. And a good gain for Daniel Dufek, bouncing off of tacklers inside the 20. They'll mark him down at the 17.
Dufek running like a horse. Holy cow, he's 6 foot 200. I'll tell you what, he looks more like 6 foot and 225. He's just running over those guys on the defensive side.
And Sparks, you know the drill, okay? You might get a couple licks on a guy who's 6'2", 200, but by the 4th quarter, those guys are seeking contact, and you're a defense that's been on your heels. You've been on the field a lot in the second half on a warm, humid night. That makes it tough. Raiders 1st and 10 from the Abe's 18. Adair tripped up but dives forward. They're going to mark him down at the 10.
Boy,
so it'll bring up the 2nd and short.
If you're the Raiders, you're loving what Adair's doing right now offensively. He is running this offense just to perfection. They have not missed a step.
10-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Adair remains at quarterback. Pengel, the running back, to his right. Adair will keep it. Cooper Adair cuts it up into the end zone. Touchdown, Hudson Raiders.
Well,
their 3rd touchdown of this quarter.
Yeah, what a great read right there. He pulls it late, and he's able to take it off on the edge by himself for the score.
You know, in Sparks, one of the things, you talk about that Abe's defense maybe being a little gassed. This is where it goes back. Well, hold everything on that touchdown.
Yeah,
so
not so fast.
Take that off the board. I did not see the flag, but it was definitely thrown. So take that TD off the board. But again, you're talking about this Old Abe's defense, and you got to play complementary football. And if the Abes can drive the ball and keep drives going, well, it's going to make it a little easier for that defense to kind of catch its wind. Memorial's offense hasn't clicked like it has earlier in this game, and so that means the defense has been on the field quite a bit here in this 3rd quarter, and it's led to 2 touchdowns, and the Raiders are driving again.
Yeah, they're running that up-tempo offense, and again, like I said, if you keep drives alive and you're moving it, that's great. But if all of a sudden you're going 3 and out and you've only used 30 seconds on the clock, that really puts a lot of pressure on that defense, and that's what you're kind of seeing here the second half. The Raiders have been able to get the Old A's out, making them punt, and then all of a sudden now they're coming back and they're just controlling the ball, controlling the clock, and really kind of taking charge of the second half.
Lassard split out wide to the right. Ferguson will check him. Good one-on-one matchup there. Adair rolling, looking, throwing for Lassard, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, he had him on a comeback right there. Lassard was in the end zone, but then he came back to meet the ball, and it was just thrown a little high on the run there.
So at 4th and 3, Matthew Asijan will come on for the field goal and try to make it a 25-point margin. They'll spot it on the 20. Asijan has nailed all of his extra point tries. The kick is no good. He pushed it to the right, so your score remains 42-20 with 1:08 remaining in the third quarter. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Be ready for your season with Play It Again Sports of Eau Claire. Play It Again Sports is just down the road, south of the 5393 intersection in Eau Claire. Just tell them you saw this commercial on Zaleski Sports and get $5 off any $50 order and $10 when you spend $100. Play It Again Sports, buy, sell, trade, and be ready for your season.
Old Abe's football after that defensive stop. 1st and 10 from the 20. Shamar Simmons back in the game, and a good burst right there to take it across the 30-yard line, and a first down for Memorial, and Simmons continues his great game.
Yeah, definitely a bright spot for the Old Abe's has been that run game.
Simmons this time got strung out. The blocking was not there. Great penetration on the near side by the Hudson Raiders defense. That was Evan Holden, senior lineman.
Yeah, unfortunately, Old Abe can't play behind the sticks, and now they're 2nd and 12.
Gunlock rolling. Pressure coming, and that throw sails out of bounds. 3rd and 12 now for Memorial. Ferguson split out wide to the far side in the slot. Hetke, that throw underneath, it was picked, but the defender was out of bounds. But it'll bring up a 4th down for Eau Claire Memorial.
Yeah, I don't know where he was trying to throw that one. He had a receiver about 5 yards behind the D-back. I'm assuming he was trying to get it up and over to him. But as he threw it, it was way underthrown. But fortunately for the Old Abe's, the D-back was out of bounds when he caught it.
Aiden Jamison back to field this punt. He's standing right around his own 30. Kellen Brown, the punter for Memorial, standing right around his own 15-yard line. Brown, plenty of time, gets the foot into it, takes a bounce just across midfield, and the Old Abe's will down it at the 43-yard line. 60 seconds remaining in this third quarter, and the Raiders will start this drive at their own 43. To cover your church, call the Dahlman Insurance Agency for a coverage analysis. Dahlman Insurance covers churches in Wisconsin with Hastings Insurance Company, online at DahlmanInsurance.com. Dahlman Insurance, come for the rates, stay for the service.
Well, unfortunately for the Old Abe's, I was just going to say that punt only went 27 yards. So, again, the Raiders starting a great field position on their own 43.
Nice crowd here at Raiders Stadium. Good contingent of folks making the trek from Eau Claire, and Hudson Raider Nation showing out as they so often do, especially at home games. Steele Homey back at quarterback. He gets the pitch, and taking it into Old Abe's territory is Aiden Jamison. Clock will continue to run, and the third quarter has come to a close, and there's a third quarter where the Hudson Raiders scored 2 touchdowns, both on runs by Steele Homey, the quarterback, one of 2 yards and one of 57 yards. Our score after 3, Hudson 42, Eau Claire Memorial 20. Fourth quarter coming up right after this. You're watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Paul, what we're looking for today first is that basic shopper, the one that's going to go for fruit that's in season right now, because those are the easy picks, the raspberry, the strawberry, the blueberry. But the experts, the one who are going to get the job done today and shine bright on a day like today, those are the ones shopping for the mangoes.
And when you think about vegetables at the grocery store, really there's a lot at stake, because at this point your next stop is the meat market. You don't want to be chicken when you go ahead and pick out your vegetables. You got to make sure you got the right pairing.
When you double clutch on your list, that's when things quickly spiral out of control. Yeah, and you think about all the different techniques he's got to have in his repertoire, right? All the arrows in his quiver, and he's got all of them here today.
I mean, medium well. Do you want it rare? Special orders, pickles, no pickles, ketchup, no ketchup.
What we're seeing here, Paul, the spatula control is unreal.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where he's got absolutely no beef. He's just focused on doing his job. Yeah, I mean, without these cooks, everyone would just truly be fried.
Start of the fourth quarter here at Raider Stadium. Hudson football, 1st and 10 on the Eau Claire Memorial 46. Steele Homey, the handoff right up the middle, and good running room, first down yardage for the Raiders. Daniel Dufek taking it down to the 34-yard line.
Well, he is just a battering ram when he gets going up the middle. Just punishes.
Line of scrimmage is the Memorial 34. Another handoff straight up the middle. And you can see Sparks up front. The Raiders are starting to win some of those battles.
Yeah, they are. Good job there by the Old Abes up in the interior. A better job of getting to him before he gets his momentum going.
Dufek coming off. I think he had an equipment issue. And Max Deschamps will take his spot on the field. They'll run that inside sweep, and the Abes had that one sniffed out really well. That's Max Deschamps, and he was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Under 11 minutes to go here, fourth quarter. Raiders with the football, driving, leading 42-20. Remember, this was a 28-20 advantage for Hudson at the half after an end zone interception by the Old Abes, Tay Ferguson. But two Steele Homey touchdown runs in the third, giving the Raiders their double-digit lead. Here's Homey. Trying to escape outside, and he's taken down for a loss. Old Abes doing a nice job on coverage that time, and that time the pressure got to Steele Homey, and he's not an easy guy to track down.
Absolutely not. I think that was Luke Johnson on the edge there. So a great job of him catching him from behind and forcing the first punt of the night for the Raiders.
Logan Murtha on to punt. Hopefully he's been staying loose on the sideline, Sparks, because he's really had not a whole lot to do.
And here again, a little issue with special teams. Make sure they got the right guys in.
Tay Ferguson standing at his own 10. Murtha on his own side of the 50. Snap is good. Murtha boots it away. It's a good kick. Ferguson's going to let it bounce, and the Raiders are just going to watch that thing roll to a stop inside the 5-yard line. That's where Eau Claire Memorial will start this drive deep in its own territory. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. Well, you're at that part of the game, Sparks. I mean, we've seen crazy things in high school football, but the reality is 9.5 minutes, you're down by 22 points. What are you trying to do here if you're the Abes?
Just keep running your offense. If you can bust one and make a big play, then all of a sudden you're back in it. If you can just get within 2 scores. But right now, like you said, you're down at your own, 5-yard line here. You can't get too crazy. So just keep running your offense and keep trying to get better at each one of your plays.
Shamar Simmons was the ball carrier. We got an Old Abe down getting attention right now. We will step aside. We'll be back with more high school football on Zaleski Sports right after this.
a nice controlled turn, and here comes the pontoon. What a boat.
I don't know that you can have a better activity today than the pontoon through this event. I said this is a world-class event. That was a world-class trailering of that pontoon right there.
Now we've got the green arrow, so now you got a little bit of a little. Oh! U-turn! U-turn! Oh my goodness!
U-turn? You gotta be kidding me!
It's a broadcaster's dream because we're literally in the middle of a crossing pattern.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high.
Luke Johnson was the injured Old Abe's two-way lineman for Memorial. Old Abe still looking at a 2nd and 10. Thrown near side, it's incomplete. Brody Neff is the intended receiver, and the Abe's Sparks look like they've made a change of quarterback.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that was a right-hander throwing on that one. We'll try to get a number for you. Number 10, I do believe.
Marcus Holmberg.
Holmberg, yep. Holmberg just a sophomore, getting some snaps here now.
Well, I think that kind of answered the question I posed to you before the timeout, Sparks, is if you're the Abes, how do you play this thing? Holmberg throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. They had a first down. And Bryce Hetke couldn't haul that one in.
Boy, that was a good ball right there. He put it right where he had to do, and Hetke just unable to reel that one in. Makes it 4th down.
Another punting situation for the Old Abes. And it was the last thing they wanted there is a 3 and out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That would have been Holmberg, would have given him a lot of confidence to pick up that 3rd and long right there. Would have picked up about 20 yards. So again, fatigue, right? We talked about all these guys going both ways. Hetke coming across the middle, maybe just loses that concentration with much fatigue and tired he is.
Yeah, again, another one of those players that has to go both ways.
Yeah, he just never leaves the field. You know, and if we're in the 1st or 2nd quarter, he's bringing that in easy.
So the punter, Kellen Brown, from the back of his end zone, I think Hudson got a hand on that one, and that one's going to roll to a stop at the Eau Claire Memorial 15-yard line. So add that to the list of things that the Abes are going to spend some practice time on next week.
And I'll tell you what the issue was. He's in the back of the end zone, basically standing on the end line, and he's got his upbacks only about 3 feet in front of him. So those upbacks had to get another 5 yards forward in order to allow him the room to catch and punt it. He literally caught it and took like a half step and tried to kick it. There just wasn't any room. He's got to get those guys up and out of his way.
So the Hudson Raiders will be in great field position to start this drive with 8:53 remaining, and looks like they've made the quarterback switch to Cooper Adair. So they're going to let their, at least a number of their twos get some playing time. Adair, the delayed handoff, and going straight up the middle is Peyton Pingle, still on his feet inside the 10.
Yeah, real nice run inside there. But here again, it goes back to what we talked about before about here's a chance for those second teamers to come in and play some varsity minutes. You know, they're going to get the last 8 minutes of this game against Memorial, and they'll just keep getting more improvement as the season goes on, so they're ready in case they're needed.
Again, delayed handoff
nice
right up
counter.
the middle into the end zone. Peyton Pingle for the touchdown.
Good action in the backfield, running that little counter back to the inside. Opens wide open for him, and Hudson just walks it in.
So that makes it 48-20, pending the extra point. Peyton Pingle, his second touchdown run of the game. He had a 58-yarder in the second quarter. Well, some of the names are different for the Hudson Raiders, but the result.
A lot of same results, isn't there?
The same. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But
And
that's what a good program does, doesn't it, Bob?
That is exactly right.
Just put them back, put the next group in. Let's run it.
Reload,
Here we
reload,
Yep,
reload. Matthew Asijan with the extra point. Hudson 49, Eau Claire Memorial 20 with 8:23 remaining in the fourth. You're watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wietrich family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its hundreds of employees continue their pursuit of providing high-quality products that can proudly be served in restaurants and homes across America.
Eight minutes, 23 seconds remaining. Fourth quarter, Hudson Raiders. 3 touchdowns in this second half, and they've extended that lead. It was 28-20 at the break, and you thought Memorial had some momentum, but second half controlled by the Raiders.
I go back to that halftime. Every time you've got a halftime situation like with the Raiders, those good teams just know how to make adjustments. They tweak things in the locker room. The coaches get together and figure out things, and they've really stymied this offense of Memorial in the second half.
On the return for the Old Abes is Jackson Zuliger. He is just a sophomore. And the Old Abes will start at their own 30-yard line. Security Financial Bank, SFB. Whether you are starting a business, buying your first home, or saving for college, SFB. They have the bankers who believe in you. Learn more today at sfbank.com. Member FDIC. Holmberg remains at quarterback for the Abes. His second series, he'll hand it off, and trying to cut back there is Shamar Simmons, again making something out of nothing, and he carries it just beyond the 35-yard line.
Again, just good assertiveness on his decisions. You know, last year we kind of watched him string things out and not cut up so hard. And boy, he's just a different back this year, at least for this game. He's stringing out, and then all of a sudden he just plants and gets upfield, makes a good decision.
2nd and 4. Holmberg throws far side, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by the Raiders, and this is going to go all the way back inside the 5-yard line. Holmberg was feeling some pressure there, threw that one up for grabs, and the Raiders got the pick. On the interception that time for the Hudson Raiders, Ben Anglin, the junior. And now the Raiders in business again. And Spargs, if they get this touchdown and the extra point, it's going to be we could have a running clock situation, which I didn't think we would have running clock tonight. But
absolutely not the way that first half played out.
But this one has gotten away from the Old Abes in this second half. But credit to the Hudson Raiders. This is a really good program, and it's kind of plug and play. A lot of new guys.
Oh, bad snap.
And we'll have to take a knee. Well, just as we were praising the Raiders, they have a miscue there, but that'll give Adam Cowles and his coaching staff something to nitpick.
Yeah, again, we've talked about the last series. It's the twos, right? The twos are in the game now. It's their chance to get some varsity experience, and unfortunately, that snap went right through his hands.
Hand off near side. A lot of good running room for the Raiders. Diving toward the end zone. Touchdown, Hudson Raiders.
Well, one play that went backwards. The very next play from the twos goes the distance for the touchdown.
Max Deschamps on the touchdown run there. Raiders make it 55-20, and Matthew Asijan is on for the PAT. Well, hats off to the Raiders. I mean, they have really taken care of business here in the second half. Again, a little confusion on who's on the kick team.
And they're still short a player.
This is going to be very close to
still got time.
Delay of game, but they're going to get it off. Kick is up, and it is good. And the Hudson Raiders have stretched that lead out to 55-20. 56-20, check that. 7:01 to go. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Be part of a Marshfield tradition at Maple Fall Fest, September 14th and 15th. Start each morning with a potato or buttermilk pancake breakfast and shop over 125 handmade arts and craft vendors. Also, make sure to check out the Kids Zone, yummy food court with maple specialties, beer garden, and a comedic grilling show with TV's Mad Dog and Merrill. Don't miss the 32nd Annual Fall Fest, Saturday and Sunday, September 14th and 15th at Wildwood Park and Zoo in Marshfield. Learn more at visitmarshfield.com and follow us on Facebook.
Want to play.
7 minutes, 1 second to go. Season opener for these two teams. Non-conference matchup, Hudson Raiders out of the Big Rivers. Eau Claire Memorial, formerly in the Big Rivers for football, now a member of the Wisconsin Valley Conference. And it's the BRC Raiders leading the WVC Old A's 56-20. An impressive second half for the Raiders, who led it by a score of 28-20 at the break. And we thought that after an end zone interception by Tay Ferguson of the Old A's that Memorial would have some momentum going to that third quarter, even though Hudson would get that opening kick. Well, the Raiders took that opening kick, went downfield and scored, and they've scored 3 touchdowns after that one. Once again on the return is Zuliger. He's taken down short of the 20. They'll mark it at the 28, so that's where the A's will start. Off air, Sparks, we were talking about this new up-tempo offense that the Old A's have instituted, and you brought up a really good point in that, hey, if it's working, it's great, but you've got your key skill players trying to play both ways. So no matter what kind of shape they're in, guys are going to get gassed.
Yeah, they're going to gas. You got to have depth, especially on the offensive, for those receivers are constantly running downfield and running their routes.
Aves will keep it on the ground. Zach Johnson. Take that one off a left tackle. It's a very short gain. It'll bring up a second and a long 9. Aves have tightly packed formation. That throw to the far side, Nathan Arndorfer. And they'll get out to the 36-37 yard line. Very close to first down yardage.
Yeah, real nice play there. Good pitch and catch. Hooked it up right there to about 7 yards downfield.
You know, we talked about the connection of these two coaches. Aves will keep it on the ground. Zach Johnson, good hard running off a right tackle. So Tom Westcott, he's a Twin City guy, and he went to De La Salle High School, where Adam Cowles began his coaching career. So these two go back quite a ways, and one of the things that Coach Cowles was talking about, you know, quoted in a newspaper article saying, you know, it's never easy against a first-year coach because you know he's going to change things up. So you can look at tape from last year, and you can look at, you know, your scouts, and you kind of know a little bit about Eau Claire Memorial's personnel, but what they're going to run is going to be different.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what took Hudson that first quarter and a half to settle in. Because they just needed to get used to what this offense looked like, the speed of the offense, and what they're trying to accomplish. And like I said, once they got that all figured out here late in the second half, they've really just done a really nice job of containing the offense and how quick it is.
Holmberg on the keeper. Clock stopped as a Memorial player is down right around the Hudson 40-yard line.
Another one with cramps.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with the remainder of this fourth quarter. You are watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
Get more sales, more customers, more employees, more community support. Let Zaleski Sports help you today. Our advertising rates are less than what you have in your pocket now. People just like you watching this broadcast are your next customer or team member. Plus, you'll have the satisfaction of making sure that our light continues to shine on these student athletes. Use the phone in your hand. Email us now.
Abe's looking at a third down. Johnson on the carry. He gets into Raiders territory. He's going to be really close. Going to depend on that spot, and now they move the chains. So first down for the Old Abes, and that's got to help the confidence of Marcus Holmberg.
And we do have a running clock here now, so Old Abes will have to move it pretty quick in order to get down here and score one more time.
Johnson again. Good running. So if you're the Abe Sparks, and if you're Coach Westcott, you're going to have to, get the staff together. You're going to have your post-game chat, and then you're going to get together usually on a Saturday and kind of go over some things. What do you think are going to be the big points of emphasis for the Old Abes heading into next week?
Well, you got to build off the confidence, right, of putting up 20 points against the Hudson Raiders. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to be real positive about the fact that, listen, we moved the football. We put 20 points up on the board, and really we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with, 3 interceptions tonight, and unfortunate, plays and sack and things like that cut our drives down. So you kind of turn that into a positive, what you did offensively, defensively. There's work to be done, right? They've got to do a better job of maintaining their lanes, coming up and forcing, making plays. So, they'll go. But again, we always talk about this. You go back to the film. You look at your films. You critique. You're never as bad as you thought you were, and you're never as good as you thought you were when you look back on the films. So, again, when do you make the biggest jump? Game 1 to game 2. That's when your hands down your most improvement comes, getting a full game under your belt.
And the challenge next week for the Old Abes, they'll have their home opener, and they'll play at Carson Park, but they're going to play against the Chippewa Falls team that just came off a really big win over Stevens Point.
Yeah, they
long
looked
pass,
really good
far
last night.
sideline, incomplete. There was contact, and here come the penalty marks.
They did get one, yep. Got one on the side judge there.
Josh Lurcher was the intended wide receiver. You look at this game, Sparks, and continue on that topic of, tweaks that you're going to make and teaching points. As good of a first half as Dave Ferguson had, he just was pretty well bottled up here in the second half.
That's a good point. We haven't really talked about it much the second half, and now obviously all the twos are in. But, yeah, it's definitely been a different half as far as his involvement.
Johnson on the carry. Under 2.5 minutes to go. Raiders will win their opener. Abes will start out 0-1, but again, it's a non-conference game. It will not hurt the Old Abes when it comes to playoff positioning, and I think with this new conference alignment, it's going to be really interesting how this shakes out. Pressure coming on Holmberg, and he finally gets rid of it, and it's a completed pass, and the Abes are going to get out of that with the first down. I don't know how they did it, but they did.
Well, great effort, like you said, that time. Just scrambling around, and Holmberg was able to avoid a couple of people and found a wide-open receiver there and pitch and catch, and he got up down there.
Josh Lorcher doing a nice job after catching that pass and fighting his way. Close to first down yardage. They say he stepped out. Johnson trying to get to the sticks. He's going to be very close.
Yeah, fourth and very short. Yeah, to be about fourth, about a half yard here.
So the Abes will go for it with the clock moving. Minute 20 left. Handoff, Johnson fighting his way forward, and based on that spot, he should have the first down.
Let's see the chains here. Yep, they're going to move. Good job by Johnson finishing that run. I don't think he had the first down, but he was good strength there to push across to get just enough.
Abes would love to get on the board. Time not on their side. Here's a quick pass near side, caught inside the 10-yard line. Ben Strayer on the reception.
Yeah, real good toss there to the slot receiver as they were playing off. Good read.
Looking near side, Holmberg to the end zone, incomplete. He was trying to get it out to Jackson Zuliger. Zuliger kind of got caught up in the wash that time and couldn't quite get into that corner. Clock continues to move. Abes trying to hurry. Looking for some more points here. To the end zone and incomplete. Zuliger maybe mistimed the jump just a little bit. And that should do it in this one. As time winds down, the Hudson Raiders are going to win this one by a score of 56-20. 28 points in the first half for Hudson, 28 points in the second half. Really efficient performance by the Hudson Raiders tonight.
Yeah, we didn't know for sure what we'd see. You know, the Hudson was talking about how they had a lot of new kids in their offensive line and those kind of things. We're concerned about, you know, them having to fill and play those roles. Well, they obviously have proven, the coaches, they're ready to go. And great job by the Hudson coaching staff, making sure those new kids are ready to go tonight. Just an outstanding job by the Raiders offensively, especially, you know, just consistently moving the football all night. And then again, a good job by the Hudson defense making the adjustments they needed to make, as they gave up 20 points early to the Old Abes and then didn't give up anything after about halfway through the second quarter. So a good job by the Hudson Raiders just making those adjustments. So again, good start for the Hudson Raiders. And the Old Abes, you know, we talked again about the Old Abes. They got some positives to take out of this game. You know, the offense did put 20 points up on the board. You know, they were able to move the football. You know, those are all positives. So again, it's just something you got to build on to keep working with this. You got to, again, new head coach, some new staff online. So, you know, again, just keep working and pushing forward to see if they can get ready for next week.
We'll recap the scoring in this one. Hudson getting some great field position after a Tyler Lassard interception that brought the ball to the 1 yard line. Steele Homey, the quarterback, ran it in from 1 yard out. PAT was good, 7-0 Hudson. Old Abes responded on a 2 yard TD run by Shamar Simmons. The 2-point conversion pass was no good. It was 7-6. Then, after an interception by Ryan Schultz of the Old Abes, Aaron Gunlock, the quarterback, connected with Tay Ferguson on a 40-yard touchdown pass. Again, the 2-point conversion pass was no good. And it was the Old Abes with a 12-7 lead. But the Raiders came right back in a short TD run to make it 14-12. Then in the second quarter, it was Peyton Pingle breaking off a 58-yard touchdown run to make it 21-12 for the Raiders. Steele Homey, a 1 yard touchdown pass to Tyler Lassard to make it 28-12. Then late in the half, Aaron Gunlock, 15-yard pass to Tay Ferguson. Shamar Simmons ran in the 2-point conversion. It was 28-20. Hudson's ensuing drive ended on an end zone interception by Ferguson. So it was 28-20. Eau Claire Memorial trailing Hudson at the half, but the Raiders took the second half kick, marched downfield. Steele Homey, 2-yard touchdown run. PAT was good to make it 35-20. Homey then on a highlight reel, 57-yard TD run to make it 42-20. That was your score after 3. Peyton Pingle, another touchdown in the fourth quarter to make it 49-20. And then another touchdown by the Raiders. Max Deschamps on the carry, 56-20, the final. Hudson winning its opener to improve to 1-0 in the season. The Old Abes dropped to 0-1. But Sparks, I think, again, a lot of positives for the Abes in this one, and we'll look for those week 1 to week 2 improvements when we have their game next week at Carson Park against the Chippewa Falls Cardinals.
Yeah, that's always the fun part of the season. For me personally, you know, being an old coach and somebody who's been around the game all my life, it's that week 1 to week 2, you know, all the improvement and the adjustments you can make, kids being able to watch themselves on film, right? Watch themselves in game action. You know, this is what I did well, this is what I need to improve on, and just being able to see that jump from game 1 to game 2.
So, coming up next, our post-game show, brought to you by Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Rely on the experience of our sports medicine team when you experience any sports-related injury or issue. You can count on prompt, proper diagnosis and a customized treatment plan to meet your goals. Their orthopedic surgeons and our athletic trainers serve your athlete in Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls, and western Wisconsin. That is coming up next on Zaleski Sports.
Hip impingement and hip labral tears are common causes of hip and groin pain and are often the result of repetitive use from crouching sports or trauma. Today, we are visiting Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Dr. Carlson, a partner with Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, is in the forefront of using a newer procedure called hip arthroscopy, which allows minimally invasive access to a joint and treatments to problems never addressed before. Using hip arthroscopy, Dr. Carlson is able to repair tissue without dislocating the hip and without replacing it.
Hip arthroscopy is where a surgeon takes a camera on the end of a long wand, which we call a scope, and through a small poke hole incision in your skin delivers that scope into a joint. In this particular case, we're talking about hip arthroscopy, where that scope would be put in the hip joint. The hip joint first has to be dislocated or the ball and socket pulled apart. When that's pulled apart, we can access the joint and look around and do the work we're talking about doing. Once inside the joint, through other portals, we call them, those poke holes that we use to access the joint, we can use other instruments, again on the end of a long wand, to perform the work inside the joint. Things like repairing the cartilage rim of the socket, called the labrum, fixing cartilage defects or problems on the head of the ball or the lining of the socket, repairing tissue around the hip, such as ligaments or capsule, repairing tendons that attach to the hip, or releasing them if need be, depending on the particular problem.
Dr. Carlson's goal is to eliminate the segment of untreated patients or patients with delayed treatment who have curable hip pathology, educating potential patients and their providers that these symptoms are not things they need to live with or that they are not from their back or groin.
Down. Bob Radovich, how are you? How are you feeling?
Oh,
Yeah, we saw that. Does need to do anything else with meetings or anything? Or
no, I don't think so.
I think Cowles is up there.
Yeah, he is.
So, all right, cool. I actually covered him when he was in high school. Yeah. 1990 football, so that tells you how old I am. How was it? Pretty hot?
Yeah.
It was, once, because, we rolled over and, you're sitting in air conditioning the whole way, and we got here, it's like, all right, it's warm.
Yeah.
And first game, it's always, that's always a tough one. But
You interviewed me for baseball too.
yeah. Yep.
I'd have the best answer. I'm not the best at this.
Oh, no,
so.
you're fine. You'll be fine. Let's see.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call
From humble beginnings in 1904, the Wheatrick family has grown Grassland Dairy Products into one of the largest processors of butter in the nation. Based in Greenwood, Wisconsin, the family and its
All right, welcome back to Raiders Stadium. Hudson Raiders victorious in the season opener, 56-20 over Eau Claire Memorial, joined now by Steele Homey, senior quarterback. For you, you had 3 touchdown runs. You had that long one. You weren't feeling all that great after that, but all in all, how would you assess how you guys played, especially on offense tonight?
I mean, I made a couple mistakes on offense. I threw 2 interceptions. I shouldn't have thrown the ball. But I think that our run offense is superior. Our pass blocking, our run blocking, everything was perfect. So we just put up points and won it.
So many new names in your starting lineup, but a lot of you guys got time last year when you were able to see some time. How much do you think that was an advantage for you guys tonight?
Well, shout out to the players last year getting us time, and I think that, we should just, we should, the time that we got last year carries over into this year, and the practice and plays are like last year, so it was kind of just a really continuation of last year.
When you look at the scores from last night, the Big River schools did pretty well. You're going to see a lot of those crossover games with the Valley. Yeah. But when you look at your team specifically, what are going to be the things that are going to be key for you guys to have a successful season?
Can you say that again, please?
What's going to be a key for you guys to have a successful season here?
Yes, sir!
How does Tyler Lassard have all that energy? Maybe I'll ask that first.
Yeah. So I think the key to victory for us is just, again, keep running the ball, keep doing tempo, running the defense out. We run the defense out today. We do that in practice. We do tempo. We're used to running fast, and a lot of defenses they're not.
All right, Steele Homey, congratulations. You get to be in the Zaleski Sports Highlight House. Do you remember from baseball how that works?
Do you point up?
You look at our camera, and as soon as Cade Marshall up there gives you the thumbs up, you say, "I'm Steele Homey, and I'm in the house."
Is he on the left?
He's on the far left right there with the camera. Yeah, so you're all good. So he's over there. Okay, so you're good to go.
All right, I'm Steele Homey, and you're in the house.
All right, man. Hey, Steele, congratulations. Good to see you again. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
All right, good to see you too. All right, so the Hudson Raiders win it by a score of 56-20 over Eau Claire Memorial. The Old Abe's will be at home, Carson Park, next Friday night to host the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. Again, a non-conference game this year in high school football with the revamped conference between the Big Rivers and Wisconsin Valley. Whatever the case, always a fun one when Chi-High and Eau Claire Memorial get together. We'll have that one for you next week on Zaleski Sports. For my color commentator, Dave Sparger, and Cade Marshall, our producer videographer, I'm Bob Radovich saying good night from Raider Stadium in Hudson.